So it's just saying I went ahead and disabled the waiting room, so if anybody who's jumping on be a couple minutes late, they won't wait for me to let them in. Yeah, that's better. So good morning. This is your Power Vinyasa flow for Wednesday. I personally like this practice because it is going to make us sweaty, but then by the end of it, you're going to feel just like a new person. I always do. But we're going to focus on standing balance, twisting. You are going to sweat, but I promise I'll give you plenty of compensation and cool down at the end, like I said, to make sure that you're integrating your practice and go into your day not feeling super drained, but instead powerful, focused, and alert. So the theme of the week, if you will, has been beauty in the breakdown, and you can interpret that however you like. I personally see it as whenever I first found yoga, or like I like to say, when it found me, waking up per se was pretty messy, but getting through that multiple times, I guess, because it's not linear. It's definitely a revolving process, but working through that breakdown really shows you your strength, shows you who you are meant to be, and sheds the layers of all the muck and crap, quite frankly, that life piles on from childhood to adulthood and beyond. So part of that waking up is what Baron Baptiste would say is one of the first mental mistakes, and that's believing your doubts. So I'm going to read just a short snippet from Journey into Power to inspire this practice. So hopefully help you feel grounded and to trust thoughts, trust your body, just get on your mat and move. So he says, no matter who you are, I promise that you can do more than you think you can do. Not because you were born double jointed, or because you were blessed with strong and pliable muscles, but because when you believe you can, you've already moved half the mountain. Everyone has the capability to shine. Everyone. Not just me, not just Santa Claus, like everyone. All it requires is an unbending faith in yourself. Just start where you are and do what you can, and there will be no stopping you. And I think that was really what did it for me, just having an unyielding, even unbending faith in myself, and knowing that no matter what, my soul, my spirit, who I am without this body is unchanging. And when we allow our body to serve its purpose for our soul, for our spirit, not to get too hokey here or into the philosophy, but incredible things can happen for you. So I just encourage you to listen to that inner voice, listen to the doubts that you may have, and try to restructure them into beliefs that will help you thrive. So we're going to start in child's pose today. I will be practicing for the majority of this because I'm recording the practice, and I want people to be able to watch back on the video. But if you have questions about any particular pose, or you have questions about something that I say, please either drop it in the comment or comment box, or ask to join the group on Yoga with Kellie on Facebook. If you're already in it, just boom, you've got the discussion right there. Just ask me something. I'm here to help. I love yoga and I teach because I'm a student first, and I'm always learning as I'm teaching you. So like I said, come into child's pose. We're gonna start with our knees as wide as our yoga mat. Big toes are touching. If you have glasses, you might want to set them to the side. Walk your hands forward as you start to lay your torso down toward the mat, bringing your forehead all the way down, or even if that's uncomfortable to you, to a block. That being said, I recommend having a block or two or anything that's compatible toward the top of your mat. And if you'd like to start the playlist that I have in the chat, please do so now. I'm going to do it because I really like this playlist. Right. All right. In child's pose, we'll start by taking a gigantic breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And continue breathing in and out of our noses. Just coming into the space, noticing where there might be tension in your body. Tension in your mind. Do your best to use your breath to release it. Avoid judging anything as good or bad. This morning, just be with what is. First mental mistake we make in yoga is believing our doubts. So I'll invite you to set an intention this morning related to that. Maybe there's a doubt that comes to mind easily. You know it's blocking you from reaching your highest potential. I want to ask you to just restructure that. Turn it around. Feel all the places where the body's touching the mat and see if you can get a little closer. Minimize the space between your body and the earth. Let it hold you. Slightly constrict the back of your throat as you relax your jaw. Begin to breathe in and out of your nose, listening to the sound of your breath. We use this Ujjayi breath throughout the practice, building this internal fire, sustaining us. Feels like we just can't. I promise you can. Rest your internal drishti, your focus on your brow center. With an inhale, rise up to all fours. Walk your wrists underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. If it feels good on your feet this morning, tuck your toes under and flow through 4 rounds of cat and cow. You'll inhale as you drop your belly, look up toward the sky, pull your shoulders back, and leading with your hips, exhale, rounding through your upper back body. Belly button presses toward the spine. Cow. Using your Ujjayi breath, move in and out of each. 3 more times. Return to neutral spine. Walk your hands forward, come into a modified high plank. So your knees are still on the mat, your shoulders are over your wrists. Look directly between your palms. Take a breath in, and when you exhale, lift up into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. I'll use Sanskrit occasionally throughout the practice to honor the lineage. It's the very first recorded written language, as a matter of fact. So there's something to be said about that. The yogis knew and still know what's up. So in your downward dog, keep your joints soft. Remember, we're softening, we're flowing like water, we're building an inner fire. All these things matter. Breath, drishti, flow. Lift onto your toes, inhale. Exhale, heels press down. 2 more times, inhale, lift up. Keep that strength in your upper body. Exhale, press down. Notice if your shoulders are up in your ears, relax them so that you have length in your neck. Feel the stretch in the hamstrings, the calves and the ankles. Next time you lift up onto your toes, look between your palms and start to tippy toe your feet all the way to the mat. Keep pressing away. And then bend your knees a lot as you fold your torso over your thighs. Let your head and neck hang toward the earth. You can come into a ragdoll, so making a little box shape around your head by grabbing the opposite elbow with each hand. Really surrender here. Let go of anything that might be blocking you from being present for the practice. Maybe it's a doubt. And interlace your fingers behind your back. Press your knuckles toward the sky. Oh yeah, I'm popping like popcorn. And start to open up through the heart. You might press your knuckles toward the wall in front of you as you tuck your chin into your chest. This deep stretch. It always feels much better when you flow and your body's not stiff. Grip through your feet, lift through your arches. We're going to roll to standing. Keep your knees bent a lot. Lifting your heart up with your knuckles. And eventually, coming all the way to standing as you press your knuckles down toward the earth. Tilt your head back. And then release your hands as you come into mountain pose. We're going to feel tingly arms. That's the good stuff. That's your prana. Now, if your eyes are still closed, go ahead and open them. We're going to establish an external drishti, so just one spot where you can rest your gaze. Unlock your knees. In each move today, I want you to imagine you're moving your bones. And the skin and the tendons and the muscles are just moving around it, supporting it, allowing you to get where you want to go. Reconnect with your Ujjayi breathing. And on an inhale, reach your arms out. Exhale, hands to your heart. 2 more times just to establish this flow. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart. Again. Remember your intention, and let's flow through 3 sun salutations A, just to build heat, and then we'll move into some salutations B. I'll cue you through the first round of Sun A, but most of you should have experience. Flow with your breath. If I get ahead of you and you can't breathe properly, then don't listen to me, don't watch me. Your body is the master. We'll begin at mountain. Unlock your knees. Smile. And reach up, breathe in. Fold forward, breathe out. Halfway lift. High plank to chaturanga. Upward facing to downward facing dog. 3 breaths. We're just building the inner fire. Exhale out of your mouth. Next time, step forward. Next time, we're not going to take the 3 breaths. This is just to get us going. Halfway lift. And fold forward. Rise up, breathe in. Fold forward, breathe out. We're going to keep it moving. Halfway lift. High plank to chaturanga. Upward facing dog. To downward facing dog. Look forward, see where you're going. Lift onto your toes. Step or hop to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Rise up. Last time, feel this flow. Moving like water. Soften like air. Round down into the earth. We'll all meet your hands together in our heart. Anjali Mudra. Catch your breath. Feel your body. Welcome the heat. Mountain pose. Breathe in, reach up. Utkatasana chair. Sink your hips back. We're going to really build some heat here, so keep breathing in and out of your nose, listening to your Ujjayi breathing. Press into your heels and grip in your toes. Squeeze your inner thighs together as you hug everything into the bones. And on an exhale, fold. Halfway lift. High plank to chaturanga. Upward facing dog. To downward facing dog. We're going to add in a warrior 1. Lift your right leg, inhale. Keep your right foot flexed. Hug your right knee into your nose and set that right foot down. Bump your left foot out. Rise up to warrior 1. Keep your bones stacked, your joints stacked, front knee over front ankle. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, flow, Vinyasa. Left side, go right into it. Get to downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths, and this time sigh. Out your exhale. Feel that release. Lift up onto your toes, bend your knees, look between your hands, step or hop to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Go forward. Rise to standing. Utkatasana, we're going to just move into it. Mountain pose. Samasthiti, hands together at your heart. Take a moment here. Notice what's coming up. In your body, in your mind. I'll tell you a secret, those are the same thing. Remember your intention. We'll modify the sun B this time. Inhale, reach up. Utkatasana chair. Fold forward. Halfway lift. High plank to chaturanga. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Lift your right leg, keep your right foot flexed. Step it between your hands. This time rise to crescent. So you'll keep your right heel, your left heel lifted over your left toes. Front knee is stacked over your front ankle. This is important. Relax your shoulders. Focus your awareness. This is our first balancing pose of the day. Notice where you might be off balance. Our bodies tell us a lot. Inhale, reach up and back. Chaturanga. Flow through your vinyasa. And lift the left leg. Step forward, Ashtachandrasana, crescent lunge. Feel this. Your inner thighs are squeezing together. Lifting up, hugging into the bone. Reach up and back, look up and back. Vinyasa. Tell you guys, I'm already sweating. 3 breaths. Really doesn't take a lot. Lift your right leg, inhale. Step it forward, crescent lunge, exhale. Inhale to rise up. Exhale to settle. Hands to your heart. Take a breath in. When you exhale, twist to your right. So your left elbow does not have to hook onto your right knee, but you do want it to go to that side. Notice if you're sinking down in your left heel, lift it back up. Then look down in front of, or beside your right foot. We're gonna step that left foot forward and come into chair. Exhale, hands to your heart. Lift up your right knee, step back into crescent lunge, twist to the left. Again, keep your right heel lifted over your right toes. Keep your core engaged, that's important. And this time, we're gonna rise back up into crescent. And vinyasa, hands to your mat. High plank to low plank. Upward facing to downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths. Soften through your joints. And appreciate this opportunity to burn through these impurities. Bend your knees, look between your hands, step or hop to the top of your mat, halfway lift, go forward. Rise all the way up, hands to your heart. Yeah, you're sweating now. Readjust. If you want to take a drink of water, please do. Now that we have our legs worked up, we're going to move into a standing balance flow. This is going to ask quite a bit of your focus. It's going to ask quite a bit of your patience. So I implore you to have patience with yourself, with me, with the practice, and trust the process. Start to shift your weight back and forth between each foot. Feel the pads of the feet kind of take over. Like left side said, yeah, girl, I got you. Right side said, me too. Sometimes just doing this throughout the day, this reminder that your body is so innately intelligent. It's a good indicator that our minds aren't always telling us the truth. But if we listen deeply to what our bodies have to say, that's when we really get to restructure our thoughts. Come back to your center of gravity. Shift your weight over to the left side, unlock your left knee, lift your right knee in front of you, interlace your fingers, and lift your right knee up a little higher, squeezing it into your side body. Keep your right foot active, so we're flexing it. And then with your right peace fingers, reach down and grab your right big toe. You might use your left hand to help stabilize this right leg. You might take your left hand and reach it up and over to the side, coming into a standing one leg twist. Keep your core engaged. And come back to center. If you fall, you get bonus points. I learned that from Terry. Now we're going to take that right leg out to the side. Another option here, if you're feeling imbalanced, is keep your left hand on your left hip. And it's important that you're pressing down through your left leg as you lift up in the right. So this dual action, they're working together. Now set that right foot down. Heck yeah, that was hard. Good job. I don't even have to see you to know that you did an incredible job. So guess what? We're doing it again. Shift your weight to the right side. Unlock your right knee. That's important. Lift your left knee. Hug it into your side body with your left foot active. But then reach down with your left peace fingers. That's your index and your middle finger. Grab your left big toe. And maybe you straighten that left leg out. Again, you can support the left thigh with your right hand, or you can find a twist by lifting the right arm up, taking it behind you. This is when it gets really challenging, is when you're shifting your gaze. Look over that left thumb, so your drishti is now here. Come back to center. Take your left foot now out to the side. Maybe your right hand goes up. Maybe it goes to your right hip. Keep pressing down to the right foot and lifting to the left. Take 2 more breaths. And then exhale back to mountain. Good job. All right. If you don't already have them in front of you, please go ahead and place your blocks at the top of your mat. We're going to use these here for, first of all, I'm having issues again with the stupid cord, but we're going to use the blocks to help us in half moon and eventually revolved half moon. So from standing, once again, we're going to shift the weight to the left side, unlock your left knee, lift your right knee in front of you. Keep your right foot flexed. And again, we're pressing down through the left leg and lifting through the right knee. Hold that. Lift your arms up. Take a breath in, and when you exhale, as slowly as you can, start to shift your arms forward and your right leg back. Your right toes point toward the mat, and again, your left knee is bent. It's not locked. Now we're going to bring that back to center. So hug the right knee back in. We're using these muscles. And then exhale back into the warrior 3. Virabhadrasana 3. One more time for the sake of that number. Lift your right knee in front of you. And then exhale into your warrior 3. Now, reach down with your right hand to a block, to a book, whatever you've got. And we're going to open up into this revolved half moon. Lift your left hand to the sky. Lift up through the core. And then we're going to set the right foot down, high lunge and move. And lift up into crescent lunge. Exhale into warrior 2. This is where we're going to give that left leg some love. Straighten the left leg and come into triangle. Inhale as you reach forward and exhale as you reach down. Look up towards your right thumb and take 5 breaths. Look down beside your left foot, pivot on your back foot, step your left foot back and flow through with Vinyasa. Please know that you can take a child's pose at any moment. The first rule, if you will, of yoga, we'll lead in down dog, by the way, is do no harm, ahimsa, non-harming, and that includes you, that includes your body. Yoga is not a punishment. It's a way in. Bend your knees, come onto your toes, look forward, step or hop to the top. Halfway lift, fold forward, rise all the way up to standing, hands to your heart. Yeah. We are sweating now. If you need to take a drink of water, please do. We'll meet back in mountain pose. Guess what? We're doing all of that all over again. But you've done it before, so you know you can do it again. Stop believing your doubts. Shift your weight to your right leg. Unlock your right knee. Lift your left knee in front of you. Reach your right hands to your hands, both of them, to the sky. Keep your left foot flexed. And on an exhale, we're going to shift into warrior 3. Remember, we're doing this 3 times. So inhale, lift back up. And exhale, put you back into warrior 3. One more time, lift up. Woo. And then exhale, back into warrior 3. This time set your left foot down. We're in this crescent lunge now. Take a breath in, and when you exhale, pivot on your back foot, warrior 2. Check your stance here just for alignment and safety. Front knee is over front ankle. Your back foot, the arch is in line with your front heel. And press down to the knife edge of your back foot so that you're getting this action in both legs. Then inhale to reverse your warrior, straighten your right leg, and glide into your triangle, Trikonasana. We'll hold this for 5 breaths. Notice if you're hyperextended in your right leg, I just was, unlock your right knee. Let that blood flow evenly around the joints. When you take in 5 breaths, look down at your right foot, frame it with your hands, pivot onto your back foot, step into high plank, and either meet us in down dog or flow through Vinyasa. When you get there, take 3 breaths. Come down into child's pose. If you want to rest your arms or your shoulders, you can keep your knees together here and slide your hands down by your feet. I'm going to rest my head to one side, just because it feels good. Let this pose hold you. You've worked so hard already. You can't pour from an empty cup. You know that we practice action as much as we practice rest. If you turned your head to one side, you can turn it to the opposite side. Take about 3 to 5 more breaths here. All right. Reach your arms forward, press down to your palms, lift back up into downward facing dog. Take a breath in, find your center here. Then look forward, bend your knees, step or hop. I realize I missed your revolved half moon, so we're going to throw that back in here. Rise all the way up to standing. Hands to your heart. Lift your left knee. Shift into your warrior three. Then reach down with your left hand to grab your block. Open your right hand up to the sky and look toward that thumb. We'll take maybe 3 more breaths. And then fold forward at the top of your mat. Ragdoll. Surrender. All right, come to a seat. Appreciate the sweat on your body, knowing that you're releasing tons and tons and tons of toxins, making room for new stuff, good stuff. Welcome to the pose, Navasana. You can start by lifting one leg if that's where you are this morning, that's cool. And similar to when we were standing, even if you want to support that right leg, go ahead, but just make sure that you're engaging your little abdominals. I'm going to go ahead and throw both legs up. You want to keep your drishti right above your toes. Your jaw is soft, like air. And I know you feel this inner thigh. If this is good for you, stay here for 5 more breaths. If you want a little more, we're going to flow in and out of low to high boat 5 times. Inhale to extend. Exhale to lift back up. 1 more on your own. I don't know how many I just did. I lost count. Moving meditation. All right, feet flat on the mat, knees bent. Take a rest. We'll begin again. Come back into Navasana. This time, bring your hands together at your heart, and we're going to move into some yogi bicycles. So when you inhale, straighten your right leg toward the mat, bend your left knee, right elbow to left knee, and inhale, or exhale, come back to center. Inhale, extend, exhale, contract. We'll do this for 30 more seconds. Move with your breath, break when you need to, rest when you need to. All right, hold your knees here. So we're gonna stay in this balanced butt move. I don't really know what to call it. But the idea is we're taking a rest before we lower all the way to our back. We've got just a couple more core strengthening exercises, or we'll focus on the obliques this time. So now, back into boat with the intention to lower slowly all the way to the mat. Before we do anything else, just appreciate this for a second. All right, one at a time, bring your knees into your chest. We're going to take the arms out into a T with your palms facing down. This is to help anchor your shoulders Keeping your spine straight. Your drishti is directly above you on the ceiling. Make sure you still hear your ujjayi breath. Take a breath in. When you exhale, drop both knees to the right. Back to center. And exhale to the left. And we'll move just like this for the next 30 seconds or so. The next time you come to center, rest. Relax your shoulders and your jaw. Notice if there's tension. And this time, turn your palms to the sky. Take a breath in, and when you exhale, drop your knees to the right. We're just going to let them chill there for a minute. You might place your right hand on your left knee just for a little added stretch. And if you want the additional stretch in the top of the spine here, go ahead and look over your left shoulder. First mental mistake we make on our mats. And in life, I think it's just believing for doubts. Opposite side. Lift your knees up and drop them to the left. Over your right shoulder if you prefer. And take a couple breaths. Back to center. Hug your knees, and we're going to rock and roll up to a seat. When you get to your seat, extend your legs in front of you for Dandasana, or staff pose. Sit up really, really tall here. We're just going to balance our energies, our hormones, and rest, feeling the effects of that core strengthening. Notice if you feel a little taller, your spine a little longer, as your belly button presses in and up. Gaze forward, and breath steady. Love is everywhere. You're listening to the playlist. Now bend your right knee so that your right foot comes flat to the mat. And then step your right foot over your left leg. Keep that left foot active. And a micro bend in your left knee. I cannot stress that enough. And take your left hand, or rather left arm, wrap it around your right leg. Reach your right arm up to the sky and then rotate it out behind you for the seated twist. Even here, engage your core. As you look over your right shoulder, you'll be able to twist a little more deeply if you press those low ribs in. And exhale brings you back to center. Uncross your right foot. We're going to now lay that right knee down to the right so that your right foot, the sole of it, is on the inside of your left thigh. This is Janu Shirshasana. Reach your arms up to stretch your spine. Flex your left foot and unlock that knee. Then as you exhale, fold over your left leg. If you're like me and you need longer legs, you can extend by putting a block on the end of your foot to find even more length in the spine. But listen to your body and only do what serves it. If you get into a pose ever and it's just like, oh God, then back out. You don't have to stay there. It's the same thing in life. Back out. Gracefully retreat. You know what's right for you. It's not quitting. It's listening to the innate intelligence of our bodies. And start to walk your hands back towards you as you lift your spine up. And then extend your right foot out, right leg out, and bend your left knee. The left foot comes flat to the mat, and you're going to step it over your right leg. Take your right arm, wrap it around your left knee. Reach your left arm up this time, up and over into a twist. We'll take 3 to 5 breaths. If you ever listen to my playlist as we're going through practice, you can tell by the tempo of the songs where we're going. So the good news is this is a slower song. Should indicate we're making our way down. Exhale brings you back to center. Across the left foot. Lay the left knee down. Janu Shirshasana. Again, extend the spine before you fold. And when you're ready, exhale to do so. This side might feel different. That's to be expected, not judged. Breathe deeply. And use your breath. Walk your hands back towards you as you lift the spine, head, heart. Now extend both legs out in front of you. Coming into Paschimottanasana now, or seated forward fold. Reach your arms up. Bend your knees to save your low back as you fold forward over your legs. Again, to extend your legs, you can put a block at the end of your feet. We'll take 5 to 7 breaths this time. Turn inward and listen. If you don't like what you hear, you can restructure it. The breath to start. Lift your head and your heart once more. Last seated fold here. Take your feet out wide, so coming into a wide-legged fold. This is important. Keep your feet active, your knees unlocked. I cannot stress that enough. We're going to fold, or rather hinge at the hips here, not at the waist. So as you start to walk your hands forward, keeping your spine straight, you're going to feel when your body says to stop. Stop. Even if you could lay all the way on your belly yesterday, it doesn't matter. Your body's telling you something different today, so listen. And then maybe, just maybe, it'll give you a little more room. If you want to bring a block to support your head, it's a great option. We'll be here for about 10 breaths. So soften. If you haven't dropped to dry your breath yet, go ahead. Stay present with each inhale and exhale. To deepen your breath as you prepare your body to move. So gently, keeping your spine straight, begin to lift up. Bring your legs back into center. Scoot your bum to the middle of your mat and lie back. Hug your knees into your chest and rock from side to side. This next pose is Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. It's our bridge pose. And you might be like, girl, I'm done today. And that's okay. You can support this pose with a block. I'll show you. But placing it under the small of your back if you're wanting just to rest in these last couple of poses. We'll do the same thing. It's compensation for all the work you've done on your hips. But if you're wanting to strengthen the glutes and find a little more of the back bend, walk your heels as close to your bum as you can get them while keeping your knees in line with your hips. Place your palms down on the mat with your shoulders tucked under the back. And when you inhale, lift your hips up to the sky. Interlace your fingers and press your arms down into the mat. We'll hold this for 5 breaths. It's important that you don't look left or right here, so keep your gaze forward or internal with your eyes closed. With an exhale, we'll release. And again, you've got an option for this next pose to be restorative by placing a block under the small of your back or one in the waterfall. Or shoulder stand. Again, whatever's in your practice, I'll show you both. So waterfall, we'll lift your feet to the sky. I like to take a goalpost or a cactus shape with my arms to keep the heart open. You can stay here. This feels great and you're good. And if you want a little more, take your arms down by your side, press into your elbows, start to lift up your hips with your palms on your low back and straighten your legs toward the sky. Again, don't look left or right. Save your neck and breathe. If you want to play with plow here, you can try to be very careful with this plant. You can take your feet behind your head. If you do that, you might want to interlace your fingers. And similar to bridge a moment ago, you can press your arms into the mat to get a little more stretch in the neck. Just feel like this neck stretch, if you will, helps me get blood flow to the brain. Maybe it's placebo, but I definitely feel like I think better. I'll slowly start to come off plow if you're there, lifting back into your shoulder stand. If you're still in waterfall and you're growing good, and just chill there. We're going to slowly make our way down to the mat. So in your own time, come off your block. Hug your right knee into your chest. Extend your left leg. And we'll find a gentle twist. Place your left hand on your right knee. Your right arm out into a T, palm facing the sky. And cross your right knee over your left side body. And here, similar to earlier, you can look over that right shoulder if you'd like an additional twist in the spine. 5 more breaths. After the 5th breath, come back to center. Once again, squeeze that right knee before switching sides. Use an exhale to take your twist. And come back to center. Hug that left knee in one more time. And come up to a seat only to get your blocks. If you don't have blocks, for this you can use a rolled up towel, a rolled up blanket, you can use a long pillow, but what we're doing is we're setting up for a reclined butterfly with the heart. So I am going to put this block, the first one, in between my shoulder blades as I lie back. And I'm using the second block for my head. You can play with the heights of these blocks. For example, if you want even more of a heart opener, you can place a block on its tallest setting. But then we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. The knees are going to fall apart. And take your arms out and to the side. We're going to take up a lot of space here. And you've noticed I've mentioned all of the elements today: earth, fire, air, ether, all of them. That's typical of the power yoga practice. Notice if your mind is racing. Rest it in one spot between your brows. Just focus on the breath flowing in and out of your nostrils. And the breath as it enters your belly. first mental mistake we make is believing our doubts. So I'd like for you to remember at the beginning of this practice, what doubt came to mind that you know you carry around. And ask yourself now if you still believe it. Now with an exhale, press your knees together and walk your feet apart. Take your feet as wide as your yoga mat and just let your knees rest on one another. Noticing the sensation in your low belly. And then extend your right leg out long, your left leg too. And if it feels safe on your neck, remove the block from behind your head. We're coming into a supported fish pose, Vinyasa. To open up through the throat. You might take your hands down closer to your side. Take about 5 more breaths here. Slowly roll into your right elbow here. We're gonna, with as little movement as possible, pull that block out from under the back. So again, just kind of roll onto your right side, elbow, and then return to your back. Take your feet a little bit wider apart. Your arms out long beside you, not into a T necessarily. Take up space. This is your place, your mat, your practice, your shavasana. That being said, if you have low back sensitivity, please honor your body by using a rolled up towel, blanket, or bolster, or even blocks under your knees to release some of that pressure so that you can fully relax. And allow your practice to integrate. And once you become settled, take a deep breath in through your nose, the biggest breath we've taken all morning long. Hold the breath, try to sip in a little more air. Thank your body, and very slowly let that breath go. Feel all the tension in your body just wash away. Soften your face. Your belly. Your legs. Your feet. And your mind. This Our yoga classes are going to have a much longer shavasana. That's why we go until 7:45. But please know that if you ever need to leave, do so. But give yourself at least 5 minutes, a minimum 5 minutes, before you walk into your day. No matter who you are, I promise that you can do more than you think you can do. Because when you believe you can, you've already moved half the mountain. Everyone has the capability to shine. That's Baron Baptiste. Start to deepen your breath. Become aware of the peace that you've conjured in your body, in your spirit. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes as you bring some life back in, some movement back in. And stretch your arms and legs like you're waking up again today for the first time. And make your way over to one side, whichever one feels right. Don't think about it, just move. And pause for a moment so that you can gather your strength, restructure your thoughts, and take only what you like with you, leaving the rest behind. And when you feel ready, gently press yourself into a seat, and we'll meet with our hands together in front of our heart to close this practice together. I hope you have an incredible day, and that you remember that you're capable of incredible things. You just have to believe it. The light in me sees, loves, and honors the light in you. Namaste. have you on my screen first. I'm gonna get stop the recording.
Thank you, Kelly. Y'all have a great day. Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you.